PodAskew Podcast is a proud member of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Surprise! Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of PodAskew. Fuck!
You can't even get that shit right for your girlfriend's birthday? For real?
You know, I fuck up on many things, but I'm going to make up for it in this episode.
Are you? Okay. Well,
I'm going to try.
Should I tell everybody what we're doing? It's not making...
Yeah.
This is Stephanie's birthday surprise. Stephanie's raves. Surprise!
Stephanie's raves?
Steph's raves. I don't know. It works better with your name because of the Rand's raves. Stephanie's surprise. Yeah, so we're here to celebrate Stephanie's birthday, and she'll be a spry 20 at this point, so that's, you know.
Yes.
Actually, let's make her 21 so she can drink, but, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think... I mean, this was definitely we had to do this shit in secret. I felt dirty. I felt like we were doing I felt like in a weird way I was kind of cheating on you stuff because, let me just add some background.
Uh-oh.
Steph goes to choir practice, and she also deals with perpetual back pain. Now, honey, today, when I was pushing you to go to choir, everything that I said to you today was the truth. You do need to go to choir. You do need to do this and blah, 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 blah. Also, I need you to get the fuck out of the house so that we could do this. Because CJ and I only have so many times to do this because you are always in the house.
Right. We love you, Steph, but go the fuck away.
Yeah. I love you, baby. I'm glad you're gone, and I hope you're... Yes, that is you looking at me right now, full of, you piece of shit. Yeah, I'm seeing it. And you are, you laughing your ass off right now because you know I know you.
And there's the I'm going to kill CJ running through her mind.
It is now that we said it.
Well, yeah, right. It's on tape now, or digital, or...
And... As anybody who knows, I am not one for really hiding any information about myself. This is not the biggest surprise is that she's getting this. There is no surprise that I am fully 100% in love with Stephanie. And she does a lot. She does tons for us. And
yep.
she micromanages me. And not to mention she deals with our bullshit.
Somebody has to micromanage you.
Yeah, but but it's not that she does it because out of necessity. She does it because she loves me. And and it's not like I'm this fucking lazy piece of shit who doesn't do anything. It's just that she gets up earlier than me because she has to. So a lot of things that have to get done that I'm fully willing and able to do, we have to take the trash out. We have to cook breakfast, blah, 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 blah. She's up at fucking 8 o'clock. I'm asleep until 10:30, 11 o'clock. She just says, okay, I'm up. I have shit to do. Let's do this. So this is overall just a happy birthday. And thank you for one, being my girlfriend and two being you.
Well, I will echo all that except the being my girlfriend thing because that would be weird. But yes.
Well, I thought I was your girlfriend.
Not you, her.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, not you. Hetero life me. Not, yeah. Anyway. I don't know where I was going, so I just stopped.
What the fuck else is new, buddy?
Yeah, right? I mean, we're off to a kick-ass start. Steph, really, we care about you as much as it may not sound like it right now, because we have... See, at least when we did this for you, we had a story to tell. We can't tell the same story, because that's just redundant, you know?
True. It's really not much. I mean, yeah, I mean, I could retell the same story, but it's
I guess
just
you could
basically
give it to us from your perspective. We got her version. Not that I think it's going to be drastically different, but I mean, well, the facts will be the same, but the perception could be different.
yeah. In a nutshell, I contacted. I think I had written to every girl in the Bay Area on OkCupid. And I had just gotten out of a pretty bad relationship with someone in LA.
I think you've told that story on the show before.
Yeah, I have. I haven't gone into full detail, but I've told some, I've told a Cliff Notes version of it. And I was at this point where I was lonelier than normal, because I will be lonely and take that shit to the heart. And my whole thing was, despite the abuse that I got through, I did have a lot of dialogue with the person. So I was always kind of talking to them. And, I just missed someone to talk to. I mean, I've got my buddies and I've got my family. I hadn't even met you at this point. So,
right.
I was just lonely.
I was going to say, I thought I was your person to talk to.
In many ways you are, but I want someone I could talk to who also, wants to sleep with me.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I would have settled for just a friend at that moment. I was emotionally
sure.
I was emotionally anorexic at that moment.
That's an interesting way to put it.
That's the best way I can come up with it.
And it wasn't criticism. It was just an interesting way to put it.
I mean, you've heard, I've had my heart broken. My heart wasn't even, around. My heart had left.
Right. I've been there, bud. I know what that's like. I've been there.
Everybody's been there. And so I knew I was making a fool of myself on OkCupid, because I was just, oversharing. And I was like, I just got out of a bad relationship and it was abusive. And I'm like, I just need someone to talk to. And they're like, find a fucking therapist, dude. I'm not.
Did somebody actually say that to you?
Someone, I think, did. Someone said, I'm not your therapist. I'm sorry you're going through shit, but it's not I'm sorry. Just find a therapist. Okay. They phrased, I'm not your therapist. Don't. And I said, you're right. You're not. So I'm not going to, give you money. So fuck off. So after about a month or two of just kind of going through that, I found Steph. And Steph, I sort of looked at her profile and I was like, I understand her for some reason. I just get her.
Right.
And I had nothing to lose because she lived out in Southern California and I live out in Northern California. So what the fuck could I have I had nothing to lose. So I wrote to her and
You know what, though? You tell the story, and I obviously know the story, both from Steph telling it on your first birthday surprise, and we've talked about it a couple times, so it's not something I'm not aware of. But I'm not sure if I've ever asked you this, and it's not because I didn't think of it, I just don't think it came up. But were you hesitant at all because she was from LA, based on what you just went through?
A little bit. Because, it was, I knew that if, Stephanie had written back, I was going to tell her, I'm like, just so you know, I'm not going to LA anytime soon. If we do anything, you got to come to me. Because I spent too much fucking money going to someone who doesn't deserve it. And I'm not going to just do it for a total stranger. And I get you could feel the same way because you don't know me and yada, yada, yada. But I was not even fully, I just wanted someone to talk to. And she looked like someone that I could talk to. And
she's very much someone you can talk to. She's just that person. You may not have known at that point, but once you get to know her, yeah.
Yeah, and her profile was very detailed. I could tell that, she had kept it updated like a fucking MySpace.
That doesn't surprise me. At all.
And I say this with love, but,
of course.
She treated it like a fucking resume. She had, she treated it like I'm not going to hide anything from you. This is what I'm going through. This is what I've gone through. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And that's Steph to a T. And, so I wrote to her and I said, it's a shame you live in Southern California. I said, it's a shame you live 8 hours away because you look like someone I could fall in love with because I had nothing to lose.
Right.
And
right.
it was true. I mean, what could she do? She could say, fuck off, or that's sweet, but I'm not interested, or you are, blah, 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 blah. And she was very, very nice and said, like, basically, like, that's really nice of you to say, but here's a couple reasons why. There's some red flags based on your profile, and here's X, Y, and Z. And little by little, the truth is I hadn't really updated my profile in a while. I did from time to time, but the ones that she had pointed out, I think it was like the smoking and I lived with my dad and yada yada. And I just very coherently and, you know, just explained each point. Kind of like it was like a weird job interview. She's like, you know, like, why are you right for the job? And I'm like, well, here's why I'm right for the job. And here's, do you have any witnesses? Like, well, yeah, you know, sometimes I get a little temperamental, blah, 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 blah. So.
No.
And little by little, little by little, we started developing just an actual conversation. All the pretense of why are you trying to sell yourself and why are you defending yourself just dropped. It became us just talking.
Yeah.
And I had asked her, I said, would you consider talking on the phone? And I meant like actually talking on the phone. And I mean actually talk on the phone, not texting, not emails, not,
right.
You know. And she came off a little like, I don't ever talk on the phone. And I said, well, and you know me, I put it very plainly out there. I said, this is only going to work even at the beginning if we hear each other's voice. Like, I'm not going to just text and email someone. If we're even considering talking to each other, I want to hear the fucking sound of your voice. And I said, right. I talk enough for both of us. So all you have to do is answer and occasionally mumble.
You probably said exactly that too.
I think I probably did say exactly. Steph, I think, has all of our old conversations somewhere. If it was through a text,
that wouldn't surprise me at all.
I text how I talk for the most part. Like, I'm not gonna. I mean, unless it's like I'm writing to a fucking politician, in which case I will say actually what I want to fucking say.
Exactly.
So. Gradually, little by little, there were these barriers. There were these little barriers that I sort of helped bring down for her. And she did talk on the phone with me. And the first time she actually like took a leap of faith and actually called me, and I missed her call. So all this of like, you got to call me. We've got to talk on the phone. I need to hear the sound of your voice.
And you missed the fucking call.
I missed the fucking call. So I get a voicemail I still have the voicemail.
Damn.
I could even fucking put it on the air. I don't think she'd really much like that.
Okay.
But like, I have it. And it's from over 2 years ago.
Right.
And it was exactly what I expected her voice to be. Just, happy, bubbly, and high, and also full of nervousness. I mean, and that's everybody's a little nervous the first time they're talking to someone that may or may not be, someone they want to spend their time with.
Right.
So little by little, we started talking more and more. And then,
I know it's not the same exact analogy, but it's like the first conversation we had,
Yeah. I make that joke all the time that like, I got you the same way I got Stephanie.
Yeah, totally.
Like, here I am. You don't like it. Fuck off. And you have to talk to me. You can't I'm not going to just do a texting bullshit. And then pretty quickly, I started becoming pretty smooth.
And did you hurt your shoulder patting your own back there?
Oh, yeah, I dislocated my hand. We got along very well, and then there was a concert she was going to come out to. And that was really the main excuse. And then she came over and we met, and it quickly became like, we're not going to this concert. We just prefer each other. She brought her ukulele and we played and I sang some songs and we sang some songs together. She's got a fucking tremendous voice.
She does. For anyone that hasn't seen it, if you search for, was it Karaoke Friday? What was it called? On Twitter, #Karaoke Friday, and you'll hear some of Steph singing. It's crazy good.
It's crazy good, and that's why she's off to choir. Like she, yes, baby, yeah, I we deceived you. But
this is also the same story about how you broke up with your girlfriend because she got angry with you for deceit.
I was like, wait, what? I did what now? I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Happy surprise. I mean, hey, bullshit! You guys fucking did it to me.
Yeah, but you're not as uptight of a. Not uptight's the wrong word. Sorry, Steph. You're not as uncomfortable with stuff like this. That's the word I was looking for.
That's a very good save.
Thank you.
Suddenly,
no, I really didn't mean it that way. I might even edit that part. But
you
anyway,
might have to because suddenly. But no, please don't, because suddenly I don't look like a fucking schmuck.
Oh, thanks.
You're not dating her.
No, that's true. No, but no. Even when we did your surprise, she was a little, because that was really the first time I got her to record anything. She had not done PodAskew yet.
Yeah,
that was the first thing I got her to come and record for, and she was a little apprehensive when we started.
She always is. I think she's always a little apprehensive, and then she does this thing that is her greeting. And I know as soon as I do it, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, and I think that is her mentally coming over that hump of
right.
It's kind of coming off on stage for the first time, which I've done, but you sort of just you get that stage fright. This is just podcast fright.
Yeah, but it's still different when you know that the conversation you're having is going out to the world essentially forever. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very different, and it's a mindset you have to be prepared for. Yeah. It's not just sit down and have a conversation. Everybody that wants to listen is going to listen.
It's you also have to be interesting. You can't. I mean,
right?
We if we're really breaking it down, we are not this fucking entertaining. We have to kind of embellish. No, it's true though. We have to know what the fuck we're gonna say.
No, I take that back. I disagree. I think we are that entertaining. I don't think, and this is not at anyone in particular. I don't think we're that entertaining individually, but collectively, I think we are.
Right.
And
I would agree with that.
And to the same regard, Steph is like, so,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you're done your story, but I would like to briefly share my introduction to Steph, which is much shorter than yours. And that's not meant as anything except that there's just not much to it. But,
right.
No, because you had told me about Steph pretty early on in our talking. I mean, I think she comes up in the first episode, and I don't even mean the defunct pilot. I mean the first episode. I think you mentioned her name at least once. And you kept telling me how awesome she was, and I was like, well, this sounds like if you and I were going to be friends, it sounds like somebody I should get to know.
It was a requirement.
Yeah, basically, but But it didn't feel like a requirement. Like, it didn't feel like, oh, God, now I got to spend time talking to his girlfriend, blah, blah. No, it didn't feel like that. It just felt like, well, if Rico and I are going to become friends, then I need to get to know Steph. And, I forget how the first conversation came to be. Did we bring her in on Skype or something? I don't remember.
Well, I don't remember that. I remember when I told her about you.
Okay. I'd love to hear that one, because I don't think I know that.
Well, you had, we've told this story a million times, and we don't need to take it away from Steph, but you had made your posting for looking for our new podcast. You need another co-host.
There's that part that everybody knows. There's the part after that.
Right. So I hit you up. You and I talked to each other. And then I told her that night, I think on the phone, and I said, this is weird. This guy who I've never met is on a Kevin Smith fan thing, and he wants to start a podcast. And I said, I think I might start it with him. Because we seem to have a flow for things, at least we're going to try it. We're going to try something. And she was like, that's fucking awesome. Like, that's a great idea.
If I could interject for a minute, we're 68 episodes and multiple bonuses, and we're still trying. But that's
We're not. There, at this point, we need to fucking become a Jedi and no longer try. We gotta do, motherfucker.
yeah. No, I think we're doing all right. I just like to have fun about it. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
But Steph was immensely supportive of you and me. She said, and I quote, "At the very least, you'll get a new friend."
I remember that. I remember you or her told me that. One of you guys told me that after the fact. But yeah,
Right.
I do remember that.
I think I also counted with like, well, the other thing is that if it doesn't work out, I didn't lose a friend. I just didn't fully make a friend. Like it was like, all right, there's a dude I talked to for a couple of weeks. What's the fucking risk? And that really is the philosophy. Is like, what's the fucking risk? It can end in heartbreak, but then hearts bend. Although it doesn't give any validation for Steph to break up with me. I don't do that.
Don't break up with me.
Don't break up with me. Stop looking at me. Stop shouting at me. Stop it.
But I do remember the genesis of the conversation. I don't remember, but I do remember the first conversation her and I had, and it was, I forget if she was driving to you or from you, but it was one of her trips back and forth between LA and San Francisco or Oakland before she moved up there.
It was probably on her way here.
Yeah, I think it was. And as you mentioned, that's an 8-hour drive. Now I didn't talk.
But bear that in mind. She's doing that for me.
Yeah,
like that's the type of person she is. Is she made that trek many times?
Yep.
Because of me.
I wouldn't make that trek for you.
What?
I wouldn't make that trek for you.
Oh, fuck you too, buddy.
But we were. I forget if I think we had been texting first. I think that's how it started. We started much like you guys, probably like texting. There was no emailing, but there was texting and whatever. And then she's like, "Hey, I'm on this trip going to see Rico. Do you want to talk?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we ended up talking for like half her trip, like 3 hours, And
I think I took over. I think she usually stops about halfway, and then she texted me and said, "Hey, I'm about halfway." And I'm like, "Oh, let me call you."
Probably. I mean, I do remember her, for lack of a better phrase, kicking me out the phone only because she was going to get like gas or something, and she was probably, like you said, halfway through the trip or whatever. Yeah. But we had a great conversation, and she was asking me a lot of questions about the show, and even though I think we had done maybe one episode at that point, maybe two, and she was asking about, but it was a lot more, not so much about the show as much as like podcasting, like how I got into it, what I like about it, what, those types of things. And then questions I mentioned, and you knew about this, but my previous show. And so she was asking questions about that and stuff like that. So.
And overall just getting to know you and you getting to know her.
Yeah.
But if you had met Steph before, she would not have been able to like say, "Yeah, I'm driving for a couple hours. Talk to me on the phone." Steph was very adamant of like, "I don't want to talk to anybody on the phone unless I absolutely have to." Now she's on the phone a lot. She talks to you. She talks to me. She talks to her family. She's actually more, she's gone over that hump as I put before. But and that's the point, is that she's super brave. She actually is one of the bravest people I've ever met. Like, we will both recoil over a fucking spider, but like, she will take on tasks. She'll dip her toes into unfamiliar waters to try things. She's always in the mood to try something to a certain degree. She'll watch movies that is so out of like her normalness because I'm like, "You've never seen this? You should see this." And her coming on the rants was a big step for her.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only done some. She's not on every episode, but I look at those rants and I enjoy them probably more than my regular rants.
She's also been on 3 episodes of 3, 4, and I'm not even talking about like when she helped with Cinema Awards, but I'm talking about like actual like discussional episodes.
But she's been on a couple. I mean, she's been on more than a couple. She's been on the Bond one, the Rico's Race one,
Well, I wasn't talking about
Steph Askew 2, and then there was also Steph Askew 2, right?
And
so there
Steph Askew 2, yeah.
That's what I said. So there's at least 5.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah. And the sports one, so maybe 6.
And the New Year's one.
And the New Year's one. Yeah.
And the celebration one. So she's on at least, Steph has been on the podcast plenty.
We didn't get her on the celebration one. She ended up not feeling well, if you recall.
We got her at the very end.
We wanted to, but we didn't actually get her.
God damn it, Stephanie.
That's all right. We knew she's always been our biggest supporter. I mean, hands down, our biggest fan, with all respect to Jay and Henry and, Smoke and a lot of these fans we've acquired over the 18, 19 months we've been doing this. Steph's always been our biggest fan.
Yeah. She's missed a couple episodes. I always give her shit for it. I was like, you're our biggest fan. You haven't what podcast are you listening to? How dare you?
Well, I thought you guys listened together.
Sometimes.
Oh.
But
okay.
She's been on this Bernie Sanders kick. She's been listening to everything Bernie Sanders.
Well,
which is great because she was never really a political person, and because I'm always like reading shit about Trump and administrations and Bernie and shit. She's like, when she started telling me like, I want to go to this Bernie Sanders like group, I'm like, I was like, first off, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Because that's something I wouldn't do, and I like Bernie Sanders. But she just was like, I want to get some information. I'll tell you this. This is funny. She ordered a bunch of books from the library. Like, she's like, oh, this looks interesting. I think I'll read about it. It's about, politics. This one's about Bernie Sanders. This one's about Donald Trump. Yada, yada. Like dozens of books.
Okay.
She gets an email from the library saying, all of your books are here. So go there, and there's just pile after pile after pile of books. And she's like, there's no way I can read all this shit in 3 weeks. So she just starts checking them back in. And she's like, I'm going to keep these ones. I'm going to check these ones in. I'm like, you still have like a dozen books. How are you going to read all this shit in 3 weeks? She's like, I'll read it. I'll do. And she's been pouring, but the fact that she bit off more than she could chew was pretty funny.
Did the library get pissed?
What?
Did the library get pissed?
I don't think so. I think they were just grateful that someone has an interest.
Well, that's true. There's that.
They're like, someone was ambitious enough to want to read a book. They're like, this is a lot of words.
This is probably a better conversation for a different episode, but I just saw recently online, there's a library somewhere in the country, and I know that's kind of broad, but I really don't remember where it is, but they're doing away with fees altogether. Like, you can just check out the book, hold the book, read the book, take the book back.
But it'll probably still cost you something if you damage the book.
I don't know. I didn't get to read a lot of the details. But
the library is going to make any money.
Most of them are publicly funded. But the point is, it was to generate interest in using the library. That was really the kind of the point.
I bet that would be completely different for movies, because most libraries have a DVD shelf.
The one over here has The one over here has a video game shelf.
Yeah. I mean, some libraries have both, but that's my point, though, is like, would you be able to check those out and just be like, I'm never returning this?
No, I'm sure there's some kind of limitation, but I didn't read the whole article. I didn't have time. But I just like the fact that they're doing that, and to tie it back to Steph, so if she had brought home the, truckload of books that she ordered, she could have kept them until she was done reading them all, or took them back as she, every, 6 books or something. I don't know, making a number up, but you get the idea. So,
yeah, that would have been really helpful. If she kept it. But that being said, she's I've had, I don't want to sound awful, but I've had a lot of girlfriends. And it's mostly because I jump from relationship to relationship. Most of the time it ends before 6 months. And then I wallow in tears and I'm ready to find the next one. I was very much like, I need to find the person for me. And I don't have to search anymore. Like, it's really kind of a freeing feeling. And I know it's kind of a young thing to say because I'm 28 and things happen, but like, I don't, for the first of my life, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I am good. I don't need anybody else. I will never fucking look at another woman. I have no interest. I've had women flirt with me. I've had women flirt with me.
You sure you want to say that on her birthday?
What I'm about to say next is even better.
Okay.
They've never said like, oh, can I take you on a date? But then I get the message and I'm like, oh, I've been to that restaurant. My girlfriend and I go there all the time. Like, I just fairly kind of like,
right.
I'm not doing the, oh, leave me alone. I have a girlfriend, because I'm still going to talk to females. I'm not going to be like, no, you can't talk to me because I, sleep with someone or I love someone. But reiterate, it does not happen all the time. It's happened like once or twice.
Okay.
But it's enough where I'm like, what is, it seems alien to me. Or I'm like, you have an interest in me? Fuck off. No, I'm against this. I am loyal. But yeah, I'm overjoyed, ecstatic, content. That's the other thing, is that Stephanie and I are friends, but we are better than friends. We're partners. And we both wanted that from the very beginning. We weren't looking for a boyfriend/girlfriend type of thing. We wanted someone to live with. We wanted someone to, work our problems with and not have to, it was more than just, oh, there's this guy in LA. Oh, there's this girl, who lives in Southern California. Or there's this guy in Oakland. It was, we basically fell in love pretty much the day we met, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's rare. And, for all I know, she's plotting my fucking murder, and I guarantee if I were to ever disappear, Stephanie did it.
Yeah, you've said that before.
Like, no one, every time we watch a fucking horror mystery, she's like, they never fucking wear gloves. I'm like, yeah? And she's like, that's a rookie fucking mistake. And I'm like, okay, we're going to put on Bambi now. Like, and then she's like, yeah, that's not how you get shot in the face either. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was going to be more like, that's not how the hunter should do it. But yeah, same idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, Stephanie, just happy birthday. I'm humbled and still overjoyed that, you decide to uproot. I mean, she went through a tough time when we were starting to get a little serious. There was this whole point of, are we just going to give up? Because she was going to have to possibly move to, Washington. She had to move with her mom somewhere, and her mom was at some point, not to go into detail, but was going through some health problems. And there was this whole thing of, is it better if we just say, hey, we enjoyed each other's company, we're going to let the distance split us up, it's out of control. And then we just kind of plainly just said, well, I don't want to lose you. This would be the hardest thing in a very long time I've had to go through. And she's taken a huge risk, and she came out here, and, and I appreciate her every second of every day. So much so, I wrote her a song.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you talked about how good of a singer she is, and she is. There's no arguing that. But you're not bad yourself, bud. I mean, you've got some pipes, man. I mean,
I appreciate that, and
sure.
But my Stephanie told me for her birthday this year, she's like, if I can make a request for what I want for my birthday, I want you to make me something. Store-bought shit is fine, but no matter what, you have to make me something, whether it's a card, a, sculpture, a painting, a drawing, a poem, whatever. So I wrote her a song. I will add to the fact that I think I've written 2 fucking songs in my life, this being one of them. And I don't even know how good it is, and but it's the best I can do for the person who deserves it most.
There you go. Steph, before he does this, because it was probably a good way to end the episode, happy birthday. I speak for Rico, I'm sure, when I say we love you. both very differently, but we do. And we're so grateful that we have you for not only the show, but in both of our lives. So happy birthday, Steph. Rico, take it away.
I belong to you like the ocean has blue. I belong to you like leaves touched with dew. I belong to you like a sunset has its red. I belong to you like sleeplessness flows through my head. I belong to you like a student needs to learn. I belong to you like a fire has to burn. I belong to you like the ocean has its blue, like the leaves layered with dew. Nothing more to say or do, 'cause I belong to